Good Saturday evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandajis here with your Atlantic tropical update. No name systems out there. In fact, since the dissipation of Sam, there hasn't been any. We are watching one tropical wave, though, and that's been coined Invest 92L. Investigative area, 92. It recycles numbers 90 to 99. The L lets us know that it's in the Atlantic Basin. Today, October 9th, 2021, less than 2 months to go with this hurricane season. That's been quite active. All right, here's a look at Invest 92L. A play out here over the last 24 hours of satellite imagery looking at the infrared. We've used this numerous times for every system to depict where the coldest cloud tops are and why that's important. Colder cloud tops means that they're at a higher altitude, higher the sky, colder, stronger. When we see shades of black and white showing up, yeah, that's some colder cloud tops, but notice where the center of the L pops up here. This is where potentially the center of the system is. No defined center yet, which is why it's an investigative area. But there is some convection here. Overall, very disorganized, but it has a chance, 50-50 chance, of developing within the next 2 days, similar within the next 5. Now, you may be looking above me and saying, well, we've got winds of 45. I thought a tropical storm is 39 miles per hour or greater. This has a very wide gale force wind field. It's nothing organized. There's no center of circulation right now, but it could bring some gale force winds and some of these stronger thunderstorms just offshore. So that's why winds are at 45. Moving rather slowly, I should say, west-northwest at 7 miles an hour. Northwest, which is interesting, it's heading towards the coast in a direction we don't normally see. You'd likely see these moving on out towards the east-northeast. So Air Force Recon has been out into the storm here. It's just exiting the system right now. In fact, probably doing one more loop there. We just got the update. This is saying the 1 p.m. advisory, but we got the 7 p.m. and no change in terms of any increased chances of development here. You can see it's rather disorganized. So this has the potential of becoming not a tropical storm, but a subtropical storm. So what does that even mean? Subtropical storms contain characteristics of tropical and non-tropical systems. So they're a hybrid system of sorts. They can form over tropical or subtropical water, so a little bit higher latitudes. Stronger winds are away from that center. We talked about the gale force winds expanding out quite far, so we're finding the strongest winds not near the center. And it's less symmetric of the wind field than you'd find with tropical systems. They really have that look with a tropical storm and hurricane. Subtropical storms kind of disheveled looking. Alpha in 2020 was the last to peak as a subtropical storm. All right, here's a look at the Atlantic Basin tropical system names. We've got one left, so if this does become a subtropical storm, still gets a name, and that would be Wanda. Now, what happens when we run out of these names? 21 names gone. Well, we've got a supplemental list. We used to use the Greek alphabet. We're not using that anymore. Last year was the last year. We've only used that twice, 2005 and 2020. Now we're using a supplemental list of 21 names. All right, here's a look at radar imagery from Morehead City in North Carolina, as well as Wakefield in Virginia, showing that Invest 92L, despite it being an organized system, it still has plenty of moisture, heavy rain pivoting onshore down through the southern Outer Banks, Cape Hatteras, Morehead City. As you get up towards Ocracoke, even Elizabeth City could be seeing some of these outermost bands making it in their direction. Now, chances of development, that window is quite small. Conditions not much conducive over the next, after the next 24 hours, I should say. Now, it's moving to the west-northwest, so this is sea surface temperatures here, and anything in orange is 80 degrees and warmer. Anything not shaded is cooler than that. 80 degrees is that threshold for tropical development, that transfer of latent heat energy for storms to use to organize and strengthen. Now, as this drifts to the west-northwest, it is going to go over the Gulf Stream here. You can see that red and pink shading of some a very narrow band of deep, warm waters streaming up from the south, the Gulf Stream. So that could give it a little blip of some intensification there or organization before it moves off to the north. Now, yeah, check out the spaghetti plots here. No real direction in where this is going to go. Weak steering overall in this general overall environment. So where's it going? Anyone's guess? Right now to the west-northwest, possibly towards the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Not a huge system, not going to cause major disruptions, but some rip currents, rough surf, coastal erosion. Outer Banks is known for that with systems like this, so, and some wind onshore, but that's really looking like it's going to be about it. All right, tropical system climatology for our season, right? So it goes from June 1st, November 30th. So here we are on the 9th of October. When we look at climatology, all tropical activity, about less than 10% of all activity throughout a season occurs from this point onward. So we still got a little bit to go, and certainly it's not out of the realm of possibility we see more named storms and possibly even stronger storms, but the chances of that are going down as you can see the overall descending down towards November, and then eventually wrapping things up with a very quiet end of November, typically. All right, until next time, that's the latest for you there. If we do get the name of Wanda, subtropical storm, or any other updates from the Hurricane Center, we'll let you know. You can find me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Till then, enjoy the rest of your Saturday.